Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today for our webinar on TEXFIRS, the Fire Incident Reporting System. I'm Ben Gonzalez with TDI's Communications Office. And so today you're going to get an overview of the TEXFIRS system, how to use it, why it's important for your community. And our presenter today is Cecilia Munoz with the State Fire Marshal's Office. Cecilia is the NFIRS State Program Manager for Texas. So she'll also be discussing how TEXFIRS is going to feed into that national reporting system. Let's get started with the presentation, and I'll see you back here for our Q&A.
Hello, and thanks for joining me today for this overview of the TEXFIRS program. My name is Cecilia Munoz, and I'm the State Program Manager for TEXFIRS. We're going to go over the objectives for the webinar today. I'm hoping to provide you guys with highlights of the different tasks that we conduct within the TEXFIRS program. Our objectives today are going to be to cover the Texas Fire Incident Reporting System, the National Fire Incident Reporting System, and how those programs work together. I'll provide some just released 2021 incident data stats, and we'll talk about what is necessary for completing documenting a complete incident, and why the quality of fire incident data is so important. We'll talk about some of the ways that fire incident data is used and how incidents are reported to the NFIRS system. And I'll provide some online tools and resources that are available to fire departments for reporting good data. So let's talk about what is TEXFIRS. The TEXFIRS program is within the State Fire Marshal's Office, which is a division of the Texas Department of Insurance. And it started in 1980 by legislation that made the State Fire Marshal responsible for maintaining and administering the Texas Fire Incident Reporting System. Today, however, TEXFIRS is more of the program name because we no longer operate out of a separate system. Instead, the TEXFIRS program utilizes NFIRS as the only source of incident data. So the National Fire Incident Reporting System is what we work in directly today. We're able to import and export data from NFIRS. As well, we're able to run standard reports and even create custom reports that reflect Texas's incident data and numbers. So by compiling this statistical data for NFIRS, we're able to evaluate the impact of fire on lives and property here in Texas. The TEXFIRS program acts as the state level representatives for NFIRS, so we are your local state reps for the national database. Our job as administrators is to ensure the quality of data being reported by Texas fire departments. Fire departments can enter and upload their own incidents and incident files into NFIRS, and we encourage that process, and we offer training and assistance to do so. We do upload incident reports when necessary. We release data on an annual basis. We recently released the 2021 data. So today I'll be sharing some of the stats from the 2021 reporting year. As I previously stated, Texas uses the U.S. Fire Administration's NFIRS 5.0 system without modification. So the data that the fire department sent to us, we're importing that data without modification directly into the NFIRS database through their eNFIRS bulk import utility, and that's their web application that we use. We're always asked, if I send my incidents to TEXFIRS, do I still have to report to NFIRS or vice versa? And our answer is always reporting to TEXFIRS is reporting to NFIRS and vice versa. If you're reporting to NFIRS, you are reporting to TEXFIRS, and you don't have to send your files to both. The National Fire Incident Reporting System is the largest national repository for fire incident data, and it's accessed through the FEMA website, eNFIRS. So departments from every U.S. state and the District of Columbia participate in the NFIRS program. According to the U.S. Fire Administration, the database is comprised of about 70% of all reported fires that occur annually nationwide. In 2021, almost 24,000 fire departments reported 30 million incidents and 1.2 million fires into INFIRS. The Texas A&M Forest Services database Fire Connect reflects that there are over 1,800 active fire departments in Texas, yet only 877 departments reported in 2021. So that's less than half. So every year we're reaching out to fire departments who are not reporting and encouraging them to report. We send out annual letters, email blasts, asking them to register with eInfers and to begin their reporting process. We offer our assistance to guide them through that process. In 2021, the fire departments in Texas reported over 2 million incidents, over 84,000 fires, and over 700 million in fire loss. There were a total of 2,574,518, so over 2 million incidents in 2021, all incidents. So this graph shows that percentage of incident types that were reported in 2021. The greatest percentage of calls were rescue and EMS calls, and secondly were good intent calls. And fire calls actually only made up 3.3% of the over 2 million incidents. This graph shows fire statistics by category. And in 2021, the highest percentage of fire incidents reported were structure fires, followed by natural vegetation fires. So these are some of the stats that INFIRS is putting out, and we're providing that data to them, annually. So now that we have the understanding of what the programs are and we've looked at some stats, let's talk about reporting and how is your fire department doing? Are you reporting? Are your calls being documented? Are your reports accurate? And is all the known information being provided for that incident? And are you confident with what is being entered and submitted for your department? Do you have someone in-house reviewing reports for accuracy? Do you misuse unknown and undetermined? And are fire reports updated when information is discovered? Is your data reliable? When you're documenting a complete incident report, you want to be sure to capture all the facts associated with the fire incident. The cause of ignition, the heat source, contributing factors, the area of origin, any equipment contributed to the ignition. This provides detailed information identifying specific types of equipment that failed or contributed to the fire. And this can be used to determine whether particular brands or models cause problems more frequently than others, and to identify equipment for product recalls or in the development of even new safety codes. So, you want to report dollar loss. The information captured or missing in these fields helps determine what fire cause is assigned to an incident. Good data requires updates as new information about the incident becomes available, such as the results of a fire investigation and the associated dollar loss, or if any injured fire casualty passes away at a later time. One of the top reasons that data doesn't exist or isn't a true or correct picture is because departments fail to close the loop on the incidents reports when new information is obtained. So all incident reports that contain cause under investigation should be followed up and a determination should be made. All of the work investigating an incident should be documented and reflected in the report at the local, state, and national levels. So don't leave an incident permanently under investigation. Good data is going to be timely. So the sooner you enter your incident, the more reliable the data will be. Enter your incidents into the database while it's still fresh in your memory. It's going to be accurate. Enter accurate data and then follow up and update incidents when new information becomes available. When data is being shared and compared between departments and on a national level, it's essential that the data being reported is sound and valid. Complete every field that is required, as well as every field that is applicable to the fire incident, because there are fields within the modules that are required and some fields are not. But if you have that data, fill it in, complete it. The more data you can provide, the bigger the picture is. And details are important, so provide the absolute clearest account of what actually occurred. So let's talk about, I have some stats about unresolved fires. There were over 13,000 unresolved fires for 2021. Over almost 4,000 of those were structure fires that still have a fire cause of investigating or undetermined. These incidents should be updated with the findings and not left as under investigation, as we spoke about earlier. Why is reporting incidents important? All the situations that are helped by having good data are threatened when the data doesn't exist or it's incomplete. Failing to report a known cause, it impairs our understanding of fires and our ability to fight them. So with your good data, we reduce fires and we reduce the risk to firefighters. Let's talk a little bit more about the dollar loss estimate. This is a field that's commonly left blank. I've had fire departments tell me more than once that they do not want to guess a number for this field, right? So documentation on fire dollar loss is missing from most reports. So we don't know what was actually lost and why isn't it being reported? A lot of fire departments, they don't want to estimate or take the time to follow up and complete that field after the incident has occurred. So dollar loss is an estimation. That's the key word. It is an estimation of the total loss to reduce the loss to the structure and contents in terms of replacement. The definition provided by FEMA is it is an estimation. So the fire loss includes contents damaged by fire, smoke, and water, and overhaul, but it doesn't include indirect loss, such as a business interruption. So numeric fields, like the dollar loss field, they can be left blank if a value is unknown or if the incident is not a fire. However, entering a 0 indicates that there's none, and the none box means that there's no loss at all. So you can leave that field blank and then come back and follow up and complete that field at a later time. A better estimate of losses for a fire often becomes available after the incident report is submitted. So update of the original estimate should be made as a change entry when better information becomes available, especially for large fires. The U.S. Fire Administration recommends the use of the ICC's Building Valuation Data formula to help fire departments determine dollar loss on fires. And there's a link here for you guys later to use or refer to. Dollar loss can illustrate the magnitude of a fire problem, It helps to indicate fire severity, target fire prevention programs, evaluate the cost effectiveness of equipment and protection practices, and it determines the amount of money that should be spent on fire protection at the local, state, and national levels. It is an estimate, and it can be updated later. These are some statistics regarding dollar loss in Texas for 2021. This is a snapshot. The total fire contents loss was over 200 million, and total fire property loss was over 500 million. However, as I stated previously, documentation on fire dollar loss is missing from most reports. So is this really a true picture, right? We're going to go back to talk about your data quality, and we'll, talk about it constantly because the quality of your data, submitting good data is very important, and that's something we always want to reiterate. Your department should have standard operating procedures for entering incidents to provide guidance for staff, and they should review it regularly. You should have a dedicated person who's the primary responsible person for this task, and emphasize the importance of complete and accurate reporting within the department. Always correct your errors. Incidents are only counted in federal reporting when they're valid. So this means that all required fields are filled in and all errors are corrected. Some stats regarding valid versus invalid incidents for 2021. There were 98% of the incidents reported in 2021 were valid. However, that means that because we submit such a big number, that means that over 61,000 incidents were invalid. Invalids occur when incomplete or incorrect data is entered into TEXFIRS. If you're entering directly into TEXFIRS, the validation errors will show up when the incident is saved, and you can correct them directly in TEXFIRS at that moment and continue to save it until those validation errors are gone, are complete. If you're importing a file from a third-party vendor, the validation errors will be emailed via an error report. So invalid incidents can be corrected in TEXFIRS by making corrections to your incidents. There are also no activity incidents, and this happens when a fire department has no incidents for the month, and that can happen for smaller fire departments, such as small volunteer fire departments. So if you have no activity, you can still report. You should report a no activity report. So it's counted that you did report something even though you had no calls. Who uses the data? Like, incident data justifies necessary resources and training needs. So it's used to plan station relocations, personal training to address certain types of incidents that happen in your area, meeting funding requirements, justifies budgets. It justifies fire prevention programs in your area, and it helps support legislation on fire-related issues such as sprinklers, fireworks, and arson. Whether you and your department are looking at this data or using this data, there are people using it, and this impacts our state and our country. Decisions are being made on the information that is being reported as well as the information that is not reported. Several government, national, and private entities rely on this information. All right. We talked about the programs and what we do and the importance of reliable and complete data. Now let's end this discussion with the process of reporting incident data. So it's easier than ever to get your data into the TEXFIRS database. There are two ways that incidents can be reported, and we'll talk about them next. But first, I want to introduce you to the FEMA website where you can register to be a user of eTexFIRS. And this is their web platform and your direct link to entering your data, your incident data, to the TEXFIRS database. So you'll click the link that says register as a state and local user, and you'll enter your information, demographic information, basically name, email, phone number, and state. And once you register, the TEXFIRS staff here in our office will be notified, and we'll contact you to complete the activation of your account. We're also available to assist you in getting started and providing eTexFIRS training for your staff if you need. The first way to report incident data is by entering it directly into the national database. There's no need to download software as in the past or upload files, and there's no cost to your department, and you'll always be using the most up-to-date TEXFIRS version. After you've obtained your account registration confirmation from us here at the TEXFIRS staff, you'll enter your TEXFIRS username and your TEXFIRS password. You'll click login with username and password. You'll be taken to the eTexFIRS homepage, where you'll look for the incidents drop down at the top of the page. It's the first menu selection. You'll click on the drop down arrow, and then you'll click on create an incident. This is going to take you to the create incident form, where you can begin entering all of your incident details. This is the electronic form set up same as the paper form, which everyone's used to the old paper form. So this initial page is the basic module data. It has all of the same modules in the form fields that the form has. It has the same form fields and drop downs, and it contains a list of the types and selection codes that TEXFIRS requires. So it's all there in a drop down for you to select and move through the form electronically. As you work your way through the form, if you select an incident type code for fire, it's going to provide you with warning messages about completing the fire module. So after completing a different module outside of the basic module, be sure that you save that in that module, and then you return to the basic module, which is the first home page, and you save it once again so that the whole record is saved. There are video training links available on the eTexFIRS homepage that will walk you through this process. The second way that you can submit your incident data to TEXFIRS is in a bulk import process. And so if you use a third-party vendor, so you have a database within your fire department that you've purchased from a company and you're entering your incident data there, you are able, those third-party companies are approved by FEMA, by the U.S. Fire Administration. They are set up to mimic the same as TEXFIRS. So they have the same code. They're supposed to have the same coding, the same fields. And so what these third-party vendor softwares do is that they create incident report files. So these files have all your incidents. Let's say if you run it for a month, for the month of March, you'll have all the incidents that you guys ran it for March. So you can upload your incident files into TEXFIRS using this eTexFIRS bulk import utility tool. Departments using a third-party vendor can create a text file from their software. and that file can be uploaded directly into TEXFIRS within seconds following these steps. After it's the same as you still have to have a login. You do have to be registered with eInFIRS. So after you have obtained your account registration confirmation from us here at TEXFIRS, you'll enter your InFIRS username and your InFIRS password. And you'll click Login with username and password. This is going to, again, take you to the eInFIRS homepage. You'll look for the incidents drop-down at the top of the page, and it is the first menu selection, same as before. You'll click on the drop-down arrow in the menu, and you'll click on Import Incidents rather than Create Incident, right? This is going to take you to the Bulk Import Utility Tool page. Your email address is going to be pre-populated, and you can change that if you would like the log and error reports to be sent to a different email address. But you'll click on Choose File here, and you'll browse to the text file that's saved on your computer. And the system allows you to upload 3 files at a time. So the user will receive an email containing a link to a download zip flat file that contains a log report and error reports that identify errors. The summary of the amount of incidents are going to be in that log file, and it's going to reflect how many incidents total were uploaded, how many were valid, how many were invalid, and how many failed. You'll want to review the records in that error log that showed that they were invalid or failed. Their error reasons are going to be in the error report, which is a second file within that zip file. And these should be corrected in your software, and then a new report should be imported after the corrections have been made. Remember that invalid and failed incidents are not reflected in your incident records counts. And we suggest that incident files for your fire department should be uploaded at least on a monthly basis, if not more often. Now we'll take a look at the let's take a look at the eInFIRS homepage. You'll see once you've logged in to eInFIRS, you'll see your username up in the upper right-hand corner. Your access is going to depend on the user roles that we issue to you here. We have a standard list of roles that allow you to access the incident and fire department management roles, as well access the data warehouse and sort tools for reports, the standard operating reporting tools for reports. Fire departments will not have system administration roles because those roles are reserved for TEXFIRS and FEMA staff. The incident roles that you'll have are create, search, bulk import, bulk export, and download the form-based incident reports. Fire department's roles will be search, export, and import fire department information. So you will have access to your fire department's information. And you will only have access to your fire department's information. In the instance that there is a county ESD or a county office that reports all of the incidents for several fire departments within their area, we can grant access to several fire departments to users, but this needs to be explained to us and requested by us or to us. So under the search option, you'll see your fire department listed, and when you click on your fire department, the details page will open. This search option allows you to add and manage personnel and apparatus information for your fire department within the InFIRS database. At the bottom of the page, you'll see that there are 2 reporting systems that you will have access to. There's many reports available for users that will assist in monitoring your department's workload and provide statistical data for your area. eInFIRS offers the data warehouse, and it also offers the summary output reports tool to run reports. The DW, as we call it, the data warehouse access, that's a special ad hoc reports tool. However, it also includes the standard reports that you can run that are listed. A lot of them are listed in the sort as well. So access to the DW requires assistance from TEXFIRS staff because it is ad hoc, and it's a lot of learning to run, create your own reports in there. FEMA's working on a training guide and video for users of the DW. It's not out yet, but we hope to promote it as soon as it is available. There are over 20 reports available using the eInFIRS summary output reports tool, and this is a snapshot of the sort. As you can see, each report has a description of the report and a category that each report is in. So there's you'll be able to click on, there's links to these reports, and you'll be able to click on the report link. You'll enter your parameters, you'll run the report, and then you're able to download them in a PDF, Excel, Word, or HTML formats. This is a sample of the fire report by FDID, just for vision. From this report, you'll see the report period parameter. So it was a January report run from the 1st to the 31st. The FDID and the fire department name. The FDID is the federal fire department ID number. The fire department name, which in this report is Houston, and statistics that reflect a reported total of over 3,000 fire incidents in 2020. So this report breaks that down by the fire types, structure fires, vehicle fires, outside fires, and other. It provides the percentage of each type represents in the total fires reported. It also provides the number of group fires. So this is the fires within the same county as this fire department. And it provides percentages and numbers for that as well. It's also broken down into a chart for visual presentation. Lastly, on the homepage, there are links to InFIRS training and user guides at the very bottom of the page. So there's a link to the InFIRS 5.0 complete reference guide, which provides step-by-step instructions for submitting fire incident information to InFIRS. It includes this reference guide is like our Bible. It includes the form and fields for every module, as well as all of the code numbers that are used in InFIRS. And it should be a reference for every fire department. If you have questions about coding or about what types of fire you should be reporting in whatever incident you have. There are InFIRS training videos. There's links to those videos at the bottom of the eInFIRS homepage. The InFIRS video library provides step-by-step tutorials on getting started, data entry, exporting, importing, and reporting in eInFIRS. So those are broken up into short YouTube videos. There is an eInFIRS support and resources video, which provides an overview of the resources available to eInFIRS users to provide help with when you're in InFIRS and general InFIRS questions. As well, there is a video with instructions to reset your password, because now that's a big thing. You can reset your own password now. You don't have to contact us to reactivate your account. Now we'll watch a quick video tour that takes you through the eInFIRS application and demonstrates all that we just discussed on the homepage.
Hi, in this video, we'll take a quick tour of the TEXFIRS application. To log in, simply enter your account's username and password into the login fields shown here. Then click the Login button. This is the homepage of eInFIRS. At the top, you'll see a navigation bar containing a tab for each major feature of TEXFIRS. Let's click on the Incidents tab. It will show a drop-down for all features relating to incidents, such as creating incidents, searching for incidents, importing incidents, exporting incidents, or generating a form-based incident report. Note that you need the proper permissions to see each option shown here. For example, I can only view this Import Incidents option if I have the Import Incidents permission. Similarly, I can click on the Fire Departments tab to show its drop-down options. Here I can create fire departments, search for fire departments, import fire departments, and export fire departments. Again, depending on what permissions you have, you might not see all the options shown here. Then there's the System Admin tab, which is reserved for and only seen by users who have the System Admin permission. Here you can create a new user, search for users, approve new users, release incidents, unrelease incidents, manage fire department groups, manage special studies, and manage +1 codes. There are also two report tools called the TEXFIRS Data Warehouse, or TEXFIRS DW, and the Summary Output Reports tool, or SORT. If you have the permissions to view these features, you can access them at the bottom of the homepage. Lastly, if you want to change your password, go ahead and click your username on the top right. Then click Change Password in the drop-down and follow the instructions from there on. To log out, click your username on the top right, and then click on Log Out in the drop-down. In this video, we took a brief look at the overall application.
Now let's talk about resources. We'll talk about resources that the State Fire Marshal Office provides. The TEXFIRS homepage is a valuable resource for all of Texas departments to view specific statistical reports. We have links to various types of training and some general guidance on all things related to TEXFIRS. Some reports you can find on our website are the Fire Department Reporting Status. This gives you the opportunity to view your department's status for the current year, as well as each of the last 3 years. Now, this report is updated every Friday of the week by TEXFIRS staff. There are summary reports for both statewide incidents and incidents by department. So there are online, there are summary reports of incidents for each fire department that is reporting in Texas. And there's also the fires under investigation reports, which we do list on our website as well. It is sorted by FDID, and it lists each of the incidents that are unresolved. So you can always check that out. And like I said, as we spoke earlier, go back and close the loop on those incidents that are still under investigation. This is the Fire Department Reporting Status report. This is the where you can find the summary reports on our page. And this is the fires under investigation links here on our webpage that you're able, just wanted to provide some guidance and show you where they are on our page here. Now I have an actual snapshot of the Fire Department Reporting Status Report for reference. Like I said, it is updated each Friday of the week on the TEXFIRS website. It's a monthly count of incidents for each fire department that is reporting in Texas. These blue shaded areas are months where no incidents were reported for that fire department. It includes a current total of all incidents being reported by the fire department, a total number of the months they've reported, and a total number of the missing months where the fire department did not report. So we do get a lot of calls on this report asking if it's current, and we do get a lot of hits on this report because, fire departments are trying to make sure, especially if they use a third-party vendor, that make sure that their incident reports are being submitted and uploaded to NFIRS, and that we are counting them. So this is the fire department, a snapshot of the fire department incident summaries. This is the fire FDID summary by incident type report, and it's broken down by the types of incidents for each fire department. So it's a snapshot of incidents by fire department. So you can scroll down the report. It's several hundred pages long, and find your fire department. And you can, it breaks it down by the calls, by the type of fires, rescue calls, false calls, and it has a total calls of all the incident types. It provides a frequency, so the percentage for the type of incidents that you guys are reporting, numbers related to aid given and aid received, exposures, and total incidents for each type that's listed. There is also a summary table that provides casualty numbers for the year, so it does provide firefighter casualties as well. You'll also find links to NFIRS training materials on our TEXFIRS page. There's guidance to running your own statistical reports in the sort tool, so we have some guidance for that to help you learn, maybe what parameters you want to enter or what you're looking for when you're running these reports. We have a link to the bulk import utility tool. There's a guidance how to use the bulk import utility tool instructions. There's a link as well to the NFIRS complete reference guide. So the Bible, we have a link to that on our web pages as well. There's links to the NFIRS training videos, and there's also NFIRS grams, which provide tips and tools for things like coding and calculating dollar loss. TEXFIRS staff is available for training, online meetings, or in-person departmental training and or hands-on NFIRS assistance. So just give us a call. We can set something up, either remote, or we can, do in-person training. We provide system support assistance with registration, activating, and maintaining e-NFIRS records. And we'll help you with whatever reporting needs you have. So if there's a report that you need that's not available in NFIRS as a standard report, we can work with you to create one for your use. As well, you can contact the TEXFIRS program with coding questions. We will refer to the complete reference guide, and we can communicate with FEMA to discuss specific incident situations and the best way to code them in NFIRS. There are NFIRS study courses available to users by the SFMO and FEMA. So again, call our office for more information on our TEXFIRS introductory NFIRS class that we offer. This is an 8-hour introductory course to each module and field in NFIRS. And basically we walk through the NFIRS 5.0 complete reference guide, and we have discussions about each field, those that are required as well as those that are optional. And we complete incident forms for mock scenarios. So the USFA offers various NFIRS courses both at the Fire Academy and online as well. So to conclude, the TEXFIRS program here within SFMO is available for all of your fire department incident reporting, training, and coding questions. Our goal is to educate all of Texas fire departments on the importance of incident reporting, and to assist those fire departments who have not reported or who have stopped reporting, so they can get back online and submit their data. The true fire picture is dependent on the data that we get from our fire departments. So if you have any questions or need additional information, please contact us.
All right, that was our program. So we're welcoming you back to the Q&A portion of the webinar. Cecilia, if you'll turn on your camera, I'll give you a quick reintroduction. So joining us now to field your questions is our presenter, Cecilia Munoz with the State Fire Marshal's Office. Just a couple of ground rules. Thank you. That I need to pass along. For today's Q&A, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom. It's usually at the bottom of your Zoom window there to enter questions. We're not going to respond to questions from the chat for this portion. And any questions that we don't get to during today's session, you can always email us at texfirs@tdi.texas.gov. That's TEXFIRS@tdi.texas.gov, and we'll work on getting you a response for that.
Right.
All right, Cecilia, you ready to take some questions?
I am.
Awesome. We've got a few here. So the first question says, we can upload to NFIRS or TEXFIRS, but every time I upload something to TEXFIRS, I immediately get a message saying, you could have bypassed TEXFIRS and gone directly to NFIRS. How do I avoid this extra email?
Well, we'll take that into consideration. That's just a general informational email that we're responding to the fire department saying, hey, we processed your file. And by the way, you can process your file yourself. So, but I will let, my staff know that it may be bothersome to some fire departments, and maybe it is actually included in the reply that we provide to the fire departments, just letting them know that we did process the file that they did submit to us, and then we provide them that other general information about the bulk import utility. So
okay, sounds good. Let's move on to our next question. At the Fire Chiefs Conference this April, we were told that the NFIRS system was going to be going away in the near future and replaced with a new system. Do you know when that's going to happen?
We heard that as well, and we actually had a meeting with FEMA and then the NFIRS program managers meeting that we had in September. It was around September 15th. And from what we heard from FEMA and the NFIRS staff there is that there is no timeline yet. They don't have any specific dates for us yet. But, the word has gotten out that that is the new direction that FEMA is wanting to go. However, there's been no specifics relayed at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the system we have right now.
Right. This is what we have, and we don't have any plans yet because we really don't know what's going on yet. We have no details and we have no dates set. So we are where we are right now until further notice.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Is there any free software for volunteer departments to track this? We already do some reporting to the Forest Service. Is there a duplication there?
So eNFIRS is your free software. It is the direct link to the NFIRS database. You can, as I stated through the program, you can enter your incident data directly into NFIRS through that eNFIRS database. If you don't have a software provider, you can log in, you enter one incident at a time, you save them, and they're saved under your fire department. So that is your free access to entering incident data to NFIRS.
Okay.
Is the eNFIRS web tool.
This is also another one that's kind of a wildland fires is the topic here. How current is the data and tracking regarding wildland fires?
So within NFIRS, the data it's current, like fire departments are submitting data every day. So if you're submitting your data, you submitted it already for September, it's up to date. It's all dependent on what fire departments submit to us though. And so that's the whole, what we're trying to communicate in this program is that your data is only as good as what you report. So we don't alter your data at all. We are trying to get out recommendations to everyone to make sure that they do fill out all the incident fields when they're submitting data. So the more data you send, the more accurate the fire data information is. If you wanted a report on wildland fires, you could contact us and we could create one for you. Just let us know what you're looking for, what fields you're wanting to have in that report, and we can help you out.
Right.
I do know that they are also reported to Texas A&M Forestry Service, and there's a couple of other places that they report like wildland fires, and so they're going to have their own, numbers. And we do communicate with that other agency, and we actually obtain your contact information from them because all fire departments are supposed to report their contact information to the Texas A&M Forestry Service, but. Yeah, I mean, if you're providing us the data, it's up to date.
Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
You mentioned that you need to include dollar costs when you're doing fire estimates. Is there any tools, any software for estimating the contents loss?
I only had that ICC tool, and I know that's for guidelines for estimating building costs. The only advice that we can provide regarding contents is, speak with the fire or the homeowners and ask them to provide you an estimate. They also have, hopefully, or maybe, I'm not sure, not everyone does this, but your homeowners, when you're you kind of provide a estimate of contents for your homeowner's insurance. And so that's something that maybe the homeowner could provide you, or the building manager, or whoever owns the building, if it is a structure to a business fire, something like that, maybe they can provide you that type of estimate. But you have to do a little digging and investigation on that to provide that contents loss estimate. One example I gave is like if a farmer and all his hay bales, catch on fire, ask that farmer, well, how much do you sell, or what is the cost estimate for each hay bale, and how many did you lose? And that is your estimated contents loss. So it takes investigation and a little more effort on the fire department's behalf to get that number.
Yeah, here on the insurance side at TDI, we're always encouraging people to make home inventory so that they can,
Right.
when they do make an insurance claim, they'll have a list of things, because it is hard to figure out, especially when it's been a total destruction.
That's right. And it
so it's
is
very
an
difficult.
estimate. So provide some type of number, and that's going to give us a bigger picture of, the total losses that we're having in our state.
Very good. All right, here's another question. Is there any training available for volunteer fire departments on entering the data?
Definitely. As I stated through my whole program, contact us here at the TEXFIRS program, and our staff is ready. I mean, we're working on there. We can guide you to some of the NFIRS training videos. You can contact us anytime you need assistance. We do have, like I said, that 8-hour program where we go through the NFIRS complete reference guide and discuss every field and go through mock scenarios. So contact our office and we'll be happy to help you with training.
Okay. And that again is TEXFIRS at tdi.texas.gov. And here's another one also on training. It says, I'm in training right now. Is there a way that we can get a demo account that students can use in order to train in proper reporting procedures so they can see it hands-on?
Definitely. There is a training site on eInfers, so you can actually request a training account when you're registering for eInfers. Just let us know. You'll click on the register as a state and local user and submit your registration information, and we can provide you that training user registration account.
Lots of folks here have questions about the training.
Yeah.
Here's another one that says,
Uh-huh.
we just started using NFIRS. It's been less than a year now, and we need some assistance in training all the people that use the system, the firefighters, to properly report fire incidents. I also need help solving the NFIRS errors and how to get those cleared up. Can you help us with those?
Definitely. It sounds like you probably need to contact us for that 8-hour NFIRS training class. So like I said, we walk through the complete reference guide, we go through all the coding, we go through every field, we do mock scenarios, mock incidents, we complete mock incidents. And then included in that, we can provide you a training on the bulk import utility and how to read those error files. They are pretty, they can be difficult if you don't know, because it's just a bunch of data on a page. And if you don't know what you're looking for, we can show you how to read those for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
Does entering fire incidents help get funding or equipment for volunteer fire departments?
It does. There's actually a grant program with the Texas A&M Forestry Services specifically for volunteer fire departments. And one of the requirements I do know is that they do require that you report your incidents to NFIRS.
Okay, sounds good. What's the best way to contact you all to get account changes for the bulk importing system?
Contact us is the best way is through email. It's the TEXFIRS email. So it's texfirs@tdi.texas.gov.
Okay, sounds good. Start there. Is it still possible to download a link from fire programs and email it to TEXFIRS?
Yes, it is. So
Okay.
Earlier when the gentleman asked about, why we are sending him an email, he's actually downloading his you have to have the fire programs software, which I'm assuming you purchase because I don't think they give that away for free. And then you can send send your text files to us with your incidents, and we will bulk import them to NFIRS, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely. We're still doing that. We are encouraging that we're encouraging that fire departments, process or upload their files themselves. However, we're not, rejecting incident files.
Okay, so those are still accepted right now. More questions about training. Is there a schedule that we can see for the 8-hour classes, or how do we set those up?
Just contact us at texfirs@tdi.texas.gov, and we can provide you the information regarding the 8-hour class. It's just one class, and we can provide you the outline for the class. There's no fee at this time because we're just providing it to fire departments who ask. But we're just wanting to get out there and, like you said, train. I've done it in Edinburgh. I made a trip to Edinburgh, and they had all of their fire guys or firefighters come in shifts, in different shifts according to their shifts, and listen to, and we walked through the whole NFIRS complete reference guide, and it helped them better understand what they're reporting and what the codings are for certain types of incidents and stuff like that. So yeah, email us and we can send you that information.
Okay, sounds good. We're just about out of time, but let's try to get one more in. It's difficult to remember everything for a fire incident. Is there a mobile app for entering into the NFIRS system that we can use out in the field?
Well, NFIRS is a web application. So anything that you can open up through the web, you can open anything up through the web on your phone nowadays. So you can log into www.nfirs.fema.gov from your phone and fill in an incident live while you're out in the field.
Or at least get it started, right? And
You can get
continue.
it started, right? Exactly.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap it up there because we're out of time for today. It's 3:00 here in Central Time. If we didn't get to your question or you think of something else that you'd like us to address later, please send them to the email we've been talking about throughout the hour, texfirs@tdi.texas.gov. I think you'll also find it in the chat. And we'll get back to you with an answer if we can at all. That's it for today. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you at the next TDI webinar.